Day 0. The 24-hour digital collapse. Total estimated runtime is enough time to get your stuff together. Phase 1. The sudden silence. At this exact moment, you, at this exact moment, as you watch this video, billions of pulses of light are screaming across the floor of the Red Sea. They travel through glass fibers no thicker than a human hair, encased in a steel reinforced cables. These cables are the nervous system of our global civilization. They carry 97% of all intercontinental data, financial transactions, military commands, and the very fabric of the internet move through a narrow corridor of water between the Horn of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. But imagine that tomorrow at 8 UTC, the light simply stops. There is no explosion, no declaration of war, no breaking news, alert on your phone because your phone no longer has a connection to the world beyond your local cell tower. In the high-frequency trading hubs of London and Singapore, the screens freezes. The tickers stop blinking for the first few seconds. Engineers assume it's a localized glitch. But as the minutes tick by, the realization sets in. The Red Sea corridor, the most critical data artery on Earth, has gone dark. This isn't just about losing your social media feed. This is the beginning of the day 0. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to trace the first 24 hours of a world disconnected and examine how silent war in the depths of the ocean could bring the surface world to a grinding halt. Phase 2. The fog of war. By hour 4, the technical silence has transformed into psychological fever dream. By hour 4, the technical silence has transformed into a psychological fever dream. In the situation rooms of the Pentagon, the Kremlin, and Zonganahai, the primary emotion isn't anger, it's profound uncertainty. This is what military strategists call the fog of war, but amplified by a digital vacuum. Usually, when the cable is cut, it's an accident. A ship's anchor dragging across the seabed, but this isn't one cable. It's a synchronized severing of multiple systems. If this were a kinetic attack, there would be a missile signature or submarine spotted on sonar, but the sensors are silent. Is it a state-sponsored cyber physical attack? Is it a private actor using deep state drones? Or is it something we haven't even theorized yet? The mystery is the most dangerous part. Without a known who, the world's superpowers begin to prepare for everyone. We see a rapid escalation in maritime posture. Carrier strike groups move to high alert. In the absence of data, intelligence agencies begin to fill in the gaps with their worst fears. This mirrors the high-stakes tension of the Mach 3 missile race. But with one terrifying difference. You cannot intercept a threat you cannot see. And you cannot negotiate with an enemy who hasn't made a demand. The world is moving towards DEFCON 3, Not because of what has happened, but because of what we don't know. Phase 3, the fragile reality. By hour 12, the invisible war becomes a very visible physical crisis. We often think of the Red Sea as a maritime choke point for oil and cargo, the Suez Canal being the gateway for 12% of global trade. But in the modern era, physical ships and the digital data are inseparable. Think about a container ship currently entering the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The ship relies on real-time GPS corrections, automated logistics updates, and constant communication with port authorities in Rotterdam or Dubai. Without the data flow, the logistic chain shatters. Ports become gridlocked because they cannot verify manifest. Tankers drop anchor in the middle of the sea, unwilling to move without updated maritime security intelligence. The global supply chain doesn't just slow down, it seizes. On the streets of major cities, the first sign of civil friction appears. ATM networks are failing. Credit card processing, which relies on the same undersea cables for cross-border verification, is intermittent. The just-in-time economy is built on the assumption of instant connectivity. When that connectivity vanishes, the just-in-time world becomes a not-at-all world. We are seeing the fragility of our global choke points in real time. It's not just about ships being blocked by a physical barrier. It's about the world being blocked by a lack of information. Phase 4, the new normal. By hour 24, the initial panic has subsided into a cold, hard reality. The cables are still severed. The cause remains a total mystery. No group has claimed responsibility. No smoking gun has been found on the seabed. The world has just split into digital islands. Regions are forced to rely on aging satellite links and terrestrial cables that were never designed to handle this much volume. The internet, as a global common, has ceased to exist, replaced by fractured national intranets. This is the silent war. It is a conflict where the greatest weapon isn't a bomb. It's the removal of the infrastructure we take for granted. As we look at the map of the Red Sea today, we see more than just water and trade routes. We see a vulnerability that is being studied by every major power on the planet. They are watching, they are learning, and they are preparing for the day the lights go out. The question isn't where. The question isn't whether our digital arteries are at risk. We know they are. The question is, when the silence begins and the screens go dark, how long can our civilization hold its breath? 24 hours later, the world we knew yesterday is already gone. And the most terrifying part isn't the damage. It's that we still don't know why. The scenario sounds like the science fiction, but the technical reality is that our global stability is tethered to a few dozen cables in some of the most geopolitical volatile waters on Earth. I want to hear your theories in the comments. If a total blackout occurred tomorrow, what is the first thing you think would break in your corner of the world? And more importantly, who stands to gain the most from a world left in the dark? We'll be monitoring the discussion below. If you found this breakdown valuable, ensure you subscribe for our next deep dive into the invisible forces shaping our global future. I'm Ro. This is The Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And get this out to as many people as possible, because this segment alone is very important, that we must be prepared for a moment like this, because these threats are being forecast, are being